Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Jodo Cast, your Star Wars gaming podcast. This is episode 116. My name is Evan Lewis.
Yeah, we just went over this, Evan. We didn't need it.
No, I've had a drink or two. I had to make sure I wasn't going to have to edit myself. I had spent enough time editing you two. That's Leo Andry. You can see him over there.
If you're in the chat.
Or
literally only patrons can see us right now.
So
whether you're watching live or not live, our faces are exclusive to patrons. Or if you go look at other things on YouTube, you'll see our faces. But our faces, as these exact words are coming out of them, are patron exclusive.
Yes. Only members of our OnlyFans page can see our videos.
And that's Joe Latovsky. Woohoo! Yippee! As they've already mentioned, patrons get to take a look at us, for better or for worse. So...
Oh, we've just lost 5.
Oh, damn it. Good thing I'm one. Never mind. Disregard. So if you would like to find out how you can make more of this happen, for whatever that's worth, you can go to patreon.com/thejodocast or go to jodocast.com for all your Jodo casting needs, including links to the Patreon and links to the Discord where you can join without being a patron, and you can see the cool people that we hang out with day in and day out. And there you go. Oh, and I should mention, I don't mention enough, wherever you listen, please leave a comment, rating, or review, because that is very helpful to us.
As long as it's a good one. I mean, if you're not going to leave a good one, don't bother. Thanks.
If you're not going to leave a good review, just don't do it on some sort of official place. You can,
Yeah.
Send us a
can
letter.
come on our Discord.
You want to leave a bad review? You come see me in person.
Oh.
Say it to my face.
Much like on, we've mentioned a few times some Kevin Smith movies, but you know what? Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is a very good example of how to deal with the internet. They were ahead of their time, quite honestly. If someone on the internet gives you grief, you go to their home and you punch them.
See what happens, Larry? This is what happens, Larry.
That's right. When you find a stranger in the Alps...
This is what happens when you leave a bad review of the JodoCast.
All right. Well, hey, we got through that relatively quickly. So, let's make this real...
That's what she said.
What you been playing? Let's start with Leo this time. 60 seconds. On the clock. Go.
Nothing.
You've been playing something. I know you have.
I've not played any Star Wars gaming.
Whatever. This is quarantine rules. You don't have to play Star Wars. What happens in quarantine stays in quarantine.
I went to the store today and I bought a epic ship conversion kit for X-Wing. So although I have not...
Your current X-Wing ships are like Catholic and you're trying to make them Lutheran?
Woo! Do it. It's a nice, easy conversion. It's like going D&D 3.0 to 3.5.
Yeah, it's just, it's really basically the same thing, just with less, like, sitting and standing.
There's still quite a bit of that.
Or no, less... No, there's less... Is it less kneeling?
No.
I forget.
Priests get to have sex.
Yeah, well, there's that.
I mean, what else do you need?
I mean, Catholic priests get to have sex too.
Right turn, back on the highway. We're gonna cut you off. Buzzer beater. Joe, what you been playing?
So
you want to know a related anecdote?
No, I don't.
I might have told it. Okay,
let me tell you about the time when as a young man, when I was a deacon.
No, I was the altar boy.
No! Left turn!
And everything was perfectly fine. And then, like, last year, the priest I grew up with has been under investigation in the Fargo Diocese. of that. And I was like, holy cow, would never have guessed. And my brother was like, oh yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm like,
wow.
All right, I guess I don't know how to read.
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
All right, good thing you're good.
On the other hand, that same priest gave us the movie Underworld on VHS and introduced me to that franchise. Signs were there.
Okay,
Whose
well,
turn is it?
great. It was your turn.
You used up all your time talking
You
about
did.
priests.
It's true.
I'll be curious to see if that makes it in the final cut or not. Or if this is... We'll just cut out all the things except Evan's reaction noises. And if you want to know exactly what we were talking about, you can join Patreon and see the uncut video of this, and then you'll know. But for now, you're just going to have to live with Evan going...
You know, it's bad enough when a liquored up Leo is just getting, like, turned on by talking about the Star Wars CCG, and I have to, like, you know, edit out half his comments. This is just going to be a whole nother exercise, in editing.
Got to keep you on your toes.
Anyways, yeah, if I was getting paid to edit, you bastards.
You kind of are.
Yep, I sure
You
am.
get, like... We rake in about $20,000 a month?
Yeah, something like that.
From Patreon?
Yeah. Okay, so I've been playing more Animal Crossing, and I have finished painting, I'm almost finished painting the Battle of Pelennor Fields box for Middle-earth strategy battle games. That was a lot of fun. I'm actually out of Star Wars... Well, I'm not out of Star Wars miniatures to paint, but my last one is the ATST that I performed surgery upon. So, I just gotta knuckle down and figure out what to do with that guy.
Are you going to not have a contribution toward the Jodo of painting this month? Or will the ATST be your Empire Strikes Back themed miniature? Or have you already done Empire Strikes Back stuff earlier this month?
Oh, actually, I've got the dang old medical droid from the infantry upgrade.
Oh yeah,
set.
that's going to be mine this month
So, yeah.
too.
Hey, there he is.
Take care, sir.
Yeah, exactly. I did that guy. He done.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Okay, well, that went quickly, unless you actually want to talk about what games you've been playing instead of what games were not played with you.
No, that's all right.
Okay, great.
I blew my allotted time slot.
That's what she said. All right, we're gonna get right to another Tales from Imperial Assault. What expansion are we on, Mr. Joe?
The Bespin Gambit, I believe, is where we are. This was a small box expansion, only featuring 3 characters. 3 new unique characters, which, is the criteria for us crafting these tales. The villain is Agent Blaze. Everybody hates him. Mostly because he has a bad sculpt.
Is that the dude in, the scout trooper looking armor?
Yeah, with his helmet's under his arm, and he's going, "Get off my lawn!" Bern Rien, who is
That's
super
a horrible
cool.
Sculpt. I'm sorry.
Here, I'll pull it
Carry
up on the computer. Agent Blaze.
What the hell? What the hell?
Oh, someone modded in to be flipping people off.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we've got Agent Blaze, we've got Bern Rien, who is a diplomat type person, and Davith Elso.
Man, Searching for Agent Blaze in Bing image search just gives me a ton. No, it gives me a ton of pictures of Ghost Rider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, well, that's slightly better.
Yeah, there's surprisingly no porn.
I was going to say that Bing algorithm. All right, I guess I should have asked previously. I guess I can go there right now to the Imperial Assault Wiki.
Oh, I've got...
Oh, that's because I spelled Blaze wrong. I spelled it Blaze.
That's his cooler younger brother, Blaze.
He was a rap.
He didn't become a cop.
He was a rapper in the 90s.
Yeah, so I've got I've got all the relevant cards up for these characters. Who do we want to start with? Do we start with the villain? We really don't know. Per usual, the villain is the one we know the least about.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find the dang... The wiki is failing me. Well, what do you think is the most relevant? Does Agent Blaze help us set the scene in any way? Like, what is a scout trooper doing on Bespin?
Yeah, I suppose because he's technically an ISB agent.
Okay.
Most people, myself included, painted his armor that kind of gray-blue of the ISB. I think we should start with Davith, because he's a Force user, and it's always interesting to try and come up with how this guy became why is he on Bespin?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even particularly need to be on Bespin. He's just part of this like cool rebel cast of characters. He just happened to come in the Bespin box. So we want to know, how did he, a Jedi or at least a Force user with a lightsaber, what's his deal? How has he survived this long, and how did he come to be in the rebellion? We have his card. His subtitle is Codename Hawkbat, one word. Remember when he came out, a lot of people called him Nightwing.
Yes, we can certainly see why.
Okay, he has an heirloom dagger as an item, and the flavor text on it says, "I do not remember my parents, but they left me this." So his parents are obviously dead, but they've left him an heirloom dagger. So I feel like he might not be too tied with the Jedi if he's getting heirlooms from his parents.
Or perhaps it's an ancient Sith dagger that's going to lead him to a wayfinder.
You know what? Anything's possible these days.
That's really the only kind of dagger I can imagine you getting from your parents.
Well, you know what his reward is for his personal mission? Is a holocron that probably guides him to his location using the dagger.
Oh yeah, a radiant holocron. Ooh, it's a D12 holocron, not a D6 holocron.
And certainly not a D4.
And the flavor text just says, "I could study it for a lifetime." Maybe like when his parents gave him up to the Jedi, they were like, "Hey, give him this dagger later, so he can remember us." And maybe some Jedi was like, "All right, I'll let it slide."
Okay, hang on a second here.
I mean, he's got to be a what?
Okay, so his code name. So he has a code name. So is he like a? Did you already mention? Is he a spy?
He's a spy.
Okay, so
he is a spy. Judging off the keywords on his skirmish card, he is a spy. One of my favorite pieces to use in skirmish, even if he needs a little bit more help.
Well, I was looking at his.
He is a spy.
I was looking at his.
He's like a ninja.
His personal mission mentions his former handler, so I don't know.
Enigmatically known as the Duke.
Yeah.
So his former handler was John Wayne.
Okay, that's fair.
Side mission reclassified, page 10 of the Bespin Gambit. Let me pull out the Bespin Gambit book. See what planet. No, it's on Bespin it takes place.
Yeah.
No. That's why he's... So his personal mission takes him to Bespin. Trusted source has been selling information to the Empire for years. Digging further, Davith discovers that the traitor is his former handler. Okay. So maybe he doesn't need a handler anymore? So we know that he has to show down with the Duke. Let's get up to that story, because the rest of that story, I guess you can find out by playing the Bespin Gambit campaign.
That's true.
Or I could just read the mission and see what happens at the end of it. But we kind of need to get him to this point, because Tales of Imperial Assault is about the backstory. So, was he a Jedi? And how old was he when the Jedi got dead?
I'm going to say he was not. I'm going to say maybe his parents, maybe they ran away when they were Padawans at the start of the war?
Ooh. Right. So you think maybe he's... so there were some Padawans who were like... The Jedi were like, okay, we're going to war. And they're like, I don't feel like being child soldiers. Also, I have feelings. And so they left.
And took the Sith dagger from the Jedi archives with them.
Maybe they made it as they left. Maybe they didn't have lightsabers anymore. So they're like, well, we got the dagger.
This is definitely a Sith
okay.
dagger with a little a protractor
sextant
in it.
Okay, so his parents were the only two young people in the Jedi Order capable of saying, wait a minute. They left. They got a little older. They were like, what are these body parts for? The Jedi never taught us about this stuff. And then Davith showed up 8 or 9 months later. After mashing enough things together, they figured it out. Davith shows up. Then maybe some Inquisitors start sniffing around, and they've got to put him in the basket and send him upriver. Where does he get the name Hawkbat? Was he raised by hawkbats in the wild, like in a cave? Like he slept hanging upside down, and he trained in these dark caves to echolocate, and that's why he's such a good spy. He can operate in complete darkness.
Maybe his parents took him to the movies, to the Hollows, and he saw his parents killed. And he was trying to figure out how he could strike fear into the hearts of evildoers. And then a hawkbat flew through his window.
So, and it scarred him, and the people when he became a spy, his trainers how'd you get that scar? He's it's just a hawkbat accident. They're that's your code name.
No. So hawkbat is a derogatory term for an unsavory individual in Star Wars canon.
Is it?
So I'm thinking all the other spies at Spy Academy just hated his stupid face. And so that's what that became his call sign, because they were always get the fuck out of here, you stupid hawkbat.
And then he'd go, okay, so we've got...
He sounds what we do in the Shadows character now.
He's a thoroughly unlikable person.
But his parents were Jedi. His parents are out of the picture now.
His parents didn't even like him, so they abandoned him.
Oh, wow.
Well, for those 9 months, she's like, why am I gaining all this weight?
And she's I'm so hungry all the time. What is happening?
Then, yeah, so he obviously had a rough life without his parents and learned how to do backflips and hide in the shadows. And one day he must have found a lightsaber, because he has a lightsaber.
To start with, he has a lightsaber?
His miniature does. His artwork does.
No, yeah.
What's well, his
doll? It's a piece of equipment you can get. I don't think you...
Like his starting weapon is what? If we can figure it out.
His starting weapon is...
Yeah, because the lightsaber is a 3 XP
his
item.
starting weapon is the heirloom
his starting weapon is it's the heirloom dagger. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
It's the shrouded lightsaber. It looks like, I think that's Ahsoka's lightsaber in the artwork here.
Oh dang, the quote on his heirloom dagger. I do not remember my.
We started with that.
We have to adjust then if like they like he popped out and they were.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't remember them. So maybe they knew they didn't have the means to take care of him, or the Jedi took him when he was young. But we don't think that's the case because he has this dagger. He was found in a basket in a river with nothing but this dagger. He was rolling around in this basket with a dagger. And someone's like, who left this baby with a dagger? Miracle he didn't cut himself. And then he was raised by Liam Neeson in the Himalayas.
I was going to say either that or Pharaoh's daughter, but I think Liam Neeson makes more sense at this point.
Oh, what if he was raised by monks in the ways of masters of... he was raised by masters of Terras Kasai. And that's why he's such a ninja type guy.
That makes sense.
And then
you don't think
they
just got
wanted
those skills at spy school?
They wanted to. What spy school does he go to? He's in the rebellion. I don't think they just have an organized
spy academy.
Spy school. That's where all the spy kids go, and then you graduate, and then you're a full-grown spy.
Then the Masters of Terras Kasai wanted to destroy Gotham, and that's where he drew the line. Let's look at the other flavor text on his cards. We've got, I don't like being followed. Every break in the action is a chance to catch your breath and regain the advantage. Anyone who prefers a fair fight has never been in one. A leaping slash that brings the full force of the attack down on the opponent.
That makes
excerpt from Ancient
sense.
Warrior's Manual. Okay, so he's got ancient texts of warriors, which lends credence to the idea he was raised in like a monk place.
Yeah. All right, sure, fine.
If you're gonna drop a baby somewhere, it's gonna be at the doorstep to the monastery.
Yeah.
I cannot make you truly invisible. I can, however, give them other things to worry about. So he's also a magician. Illusions. Misdirection.
It's an illusion, Michael.
Or he also has the, what is it called? The other person's problem field generator from Hitchhiker's Guide.
Oh.
Where it just makes you don't notice the thing because it's not your problem. It's cheaper than cloaking technology. Once discovered, the best defense is an unrelenting assault.
Oh. That sounds like an ancient Klingon proverb.
And then the last one is just a Yoda quote.
Yeah, they got lazy on that one.
So I think he was not raised by Jedi. Perhaps he rose through the ranks and he was really good at punching and kicking and sneaking and being Ninja Man.
Ooh.
And when he was like at the ready, he was the best. They're like, "You've earned this," and they give him a lightsaber, and he's like, "What's this?" And they're like, "It's a weapon of our ancient enemies or something."
What if
like they've been holding on to this until someone was worthy to use it?
What if he was left at the doorstep of a monastery of the Keepers of the Wills?
He grew up on Jeddah.
I'm sure there are other Keepers of the Wills elsewhere.
Sure. I dig it.
I like Masters of Terras Kasai better.
Okay, fine. Fine.
So he grew up. He was raised by monks in the space Himalayas, and once he proved to be kind of the best, they deemed him worthy of the lightsaber. And then the Empire showed up in space Tibet and started ruining things and killed all his friends. And that's when he eventually went off to have to go join the rebellion and, do what he could to stop the Empire. Huh?
Uh-huh. And that's when everybody hated him.
Right.
From the name Hawkbat.
Right. And that's when he got a handler, because they're like, what are you good at? He's like, I'm good at spying. Like, okay, well, you need a handler. Meet John Wayne, the Duke.
John Wayne.
Is that his whole story? And then he, joined up with the rest of our characters, and eventually got word that the Duke was a traitor, and had to go find him. And the rest is part of the board game.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I like that one. It's different enough from our past expansion characters, and different enough from Dahlia.
Yes.
Dahlia.
Diala. I don't actually quite remember what we did for her, but it was definitely different from that. She actually had like a Jedi Master, and she was actual Jedi. This guy is not. We're saying he's not a Jedi, but he can use the Force, and he's Ninja Man.
He's like,
let's jump to Agent Blaze, and I don't think we really know much about him
and his monster machines.
All right, Agent Blaze.
Imperial class. Let's see if we have any cards for him in the Imperial class deck. Deployment cards, Imperial. Agent Blaze. He's called ISB Interrogator. I do not see any flavor text in the class deck, so that's all we got to work on. He's an ISB Interrogator.
Well, the official FFG product webpage refers to him as a cold and methodical warrior and expert interrogator. He says that he's the commander of all the ISB agents at Cloud City.
And there's only 3 of them there.
I'm the boss.
So, yeah, it's him and 3 guys that hate him. So this part of the campaign, are we still in the part of Imperial Assault that is assumed to be in a set point in time?
I'm pretty sure this would take place after Empire Strikes Back. Return to Hoth takes place after Empire Strikes Back, which is why it's called Return to Hoth. You go there after you searching the now abandoned Rebel base for Leia forgot her keys or something. And so yeah, this takes place after, because obviously the Empire's occupying Bespin straight up. So
if we set the scene for Bespin, Lando's gone. Lando is like, this is Lando Calrissian. Everyone get the hell out of here. And he just, he yeeted out of there.
Wilro Hood is gone, or is Wilro Hood still there? And he's fermenting resistance among the populace. And Blaze is trying to figure out what, stamp out this spark of resistance on Cloud City. They transfer secret messages through the ice cream buckets.
That's what I was going to ask. I'm like, Wilro Hood, the ice cream guy?
Yeah, that's how they get their secret messages around, because they can't do it over the holonet because they'll be tracked.
So when the rebel agent needs to get their latest mission, they go to the ice cream shop. And they're like, I'll have a double fudge with extra strawberry, and that's the code word for here's your mission.
Right, and then he gives them the bucket of ice cream, and they take it home, and they go, thanks, and then they open it up at home, and there's ice cream in it, but below the ice cream is the secret compartment with the mission parameters.
And then they get their mission, and then the ice cream bucket's like, this ice cream bucket will self-destruct in 10 seconds.
And then there's ice cream all over the place.
And then the cleaning company comes in, who are related to Wilro Hood. It's part of his racket. They're not affiliated with the rebellion or anything. It's just a way to hook his family up with business.
Genius.
Okay.
But Blaze is having a hell of a time tracking these guys down because he's always interrogating people who have like ice cream around their lips still. He slaps them and the ice cream sprays on the wall, like not blood, but just ice cream.
And they've all got brain freeze from eating the ice cream too quickly, and he's just like, tell me what I need to know. And they're like, just stop, please.
I really don't have much else to think about Blaze. He's just kind of like curmudgeonly. I feel like it's not... Is this a assignment he's happy to have, or is this an assignment that he feels like it's an insult that it's been given to him? I feel like that's a good starting question.
I would think this would be a fairly decent assignment. It's not in the butthole of space like Tatooine. You're on a climate-controlled base that Lord Vader, cleaned up. And you're, like, taking over for him.
So he feels rather self-important, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Now, is he smarmy and self-important, or is he actually, like, a veteran and he knows, not to be too arrogant?
In my mind, he's like, what the hell was his name? Like, the captain from Police Academy. That's who I picture him as. He's always just like yelling at everybody and shaking his... Yeah, and he's always like, Mahoney! Because that's exactly what his sculpt even looks like. He's like shaking his fist at Mahoney after him and, like Mahoney just pulled a prank on him and he's...
Okay, so he's like that.
He's like that.
What can I say? That's just the feeling I get from his sculpt.
Or like the drill sergeant from Stripes.
See, but like the drill sergeant from Stripes is actually
competent.
Like,
yeah,
effective.
That's true.
And he's actually competent. It's just he's just stuck with a bunch of morons.
Good point. So Agent Blaze, who looks like a scout trooper, but he's an ISB agent. And this is is not the dude with like the Jabra like Bluetooth headset, right? That's a different guy.
Oh, that is just generic ISB agent.
But this guy, like the head interrogator, looks like a scout trooper.
I guess the artwork on his box the coloring is actually more of a scout trooper. I'm not sure if the color on it is meant to look like camouflage, but it's definitely white armor with some coloring on it. But the ISB agents, those are like the 90s looking guys who are wearing different armor. Yeah, it's definitely clearly different armor on the ISB agent guys, so...
Weird.
But yeah, they're the ones who have like the call center headsets. Maybe he was a former scout trooper. Maybe that's what he used to do.
And he just loves
just can't give
the
it
helmet.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he repainted it or something. So you stand out better as a leader type if you have a familiar yet unique looking set of armor. Like Phasma.
Yeah.
So I guess he was an ex-scout trooper, got lucky or something, had one good mission, and they're like, you know what? How do you like to be in the ISB? And he goes, yes. And then he gets sent to Cloud City.
I'm willing to bet that a lot of
what is Zillow technique
That
in
in Imperial Assault?
Just in Star Wars lore in general.
Nothing.
Because it comes with this guy. So
yeah, this is one of the super duper is best cards if you're an Imperial player. But I'm pretty sure the term Zillow technique was created for that card. They're like, we need a name for this card that gives you defensive bonuses.
is that related to the Zillow Beast?
I mean, that's the idea, isn't it?
That's probably where the name came from.
Right.
Because
this thing is nearly impossible to damage.
Yeah, he had a tough hide. I don't know how you teach the
Didn't we
Zillow
talk
technique.
about... Maybe it was on a battle chat or something. Could have sworn we talked about Palpatine banging that thing. No, I feel like that was on one of the first reboot episode of Battle Chat on YouTube. Yeah, that was definitely a Battle Chat.
Is that how we got Ray's dad?
Yep.
All right. Makes about as much sense as anything. Can just imagine that conversation with Filoni. So then, Palpatine, he really likes Zillow Beast a lot.
Evan?
And they eventually become soulmates.
Well, your whole little tale about that ended in soulmates, I didn't get any of it.
Yeah,
you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm even lagging on my own damn window in Discord, so it's fine. Don't even sweat it. It's all going to get edited. That's the magic of editing. Look at episode 4.
Of the Jodo cast.
Yes, the only episode 4 that matters.
Are we done on Blaze? He's
Yes.
not too interesting like most of the villains.
Which is sad, because, we started off with a good villain.
I like to think maybe Blaze, murdered an innocent person, but kind of by accident, but the other Imperials were like, nice job! And that's how he got his promotion.
I was going to say that I'm willing to bet a lot of promotions were had after the Battle of Hoth. People that didn't deserve to get promoted got promoted because they were there?
So, lastly, we have Bern Rien. Her subtitle is Master of Intelligence. I'm going to pull up all of her cards here.
Oh.
We can look at her equipment and flavor text. So she's like a diplomat. She's in Ithorian. She's got that cool translator box rigged on her neck, mouth parts. She's got a cool book. She's very fancy. She looks like if General Leia were an Ithorian almost. It's kind of got that same kind of fancy outfit. She's got a cool staff. Her flavor text. So she starts with a diplomat's blaster. She's just got a holdout blaster. So she's like a diplomat who ain't afraid to pop a cap. So her quotes say, "The rebellion needs heroes. Speak loudly enough and you don't need a big stick." She's referencing Earth President Theodore Roosevelt.
I'm pretty sure, she could have ran into him. I seem to remember in the comic Bully Pulpit, he traveled through space.
Okay.
If any president did, it was him.
Let's see if he's in.
By the way,
Wikipedia.
I do recommend reading the comic Bully Pulpit if you have not. It's very entertaining. If I remember right, I think it's him and Abraham Lincoln team up to defeat Hitler Jr.
That sounds reasonable, actually.
This card doesn't have flavor text, but it's called Rebel Propaganda. So we can maybe think that she's running some sort of covert information network, trying to spread rebel propaganda. When success is critical, it's best to come prepared. Okay, that's not interesting. My strength is not my own. She does steroids. I mean, it's kind of clear that she's like a team player. She's obviously not doing all this stuff by herself.
Yeah.
She looks kind of like an old lady. She's obviously not a fighter. They don't need to be loyal all the time, only at the right time.
And yet she leads from the front, apparently.
Oh, yeah. That's a 4 XP card. That's how she's really gotten in there.
Okay.
What, leads from the front?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like...
Maybe after she's... Well, let's look at her. Her mission is called Panic in the Streets. This one also takes place on Bespin outskirts. Clashes on Cloud City have taken their toll on the populace. So, the Ice Cream Rebels are obviously doing little kind of guerrilla attacks on Imperial police stations
Ice Cream Squad
around the city. People have been blaming rebels for the violence. Rightly so. They've been instigating it, as far as we know, the Ice Cream folk. Preferring relative safety even under Imperial banners. Okay, so the people are like, no, the rebels did it. I'd rather, have fascism than rebel activity. Fearing the loss of support of her guerrillas, Mern organizes a relief mission. She vows to help the people of Cloud City and to win back their support. That's the gist of the her side mission.
Interesting.
So I feel like maybe she grew up as like a politician on wherever Ithorians are from.
Ithor.
Are they? They go. There's an Ithorian city in Rebels, and I didn't think it was called that.
Yeah, at least that's what the planet was called back in the day.
Let's look up an episode of Rebels. Why can't I just look up the name of this episode of Rebels and get the thing?
It'd be too easy.
It's called Future of the Force. It doesn't bring me up anything. Star Wars Rebels. Okay, now we'll go to the episode list. Season, I believe it was season 2. I'll go here to the episode. Future of the Force. What did it say? Departing from the planet Chandel.
According to Wikipedia, Ithor has never made an appearance in...
What's the name of this planet? Meanwhile, on Gorel, blah, 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 blah. The planet Takobo, Takobo, was a planet that was home to a number of emigrated species, including Ithorians. Okay, well, it's a very pretty planet. I liked the design of it. So, Takobo. Let's say she's from Takobo to have some continuity here. Does it even say their homeworld? Homeworld is Ithor. It says on the canon page for Ithorians, but it's canon.
Yeah.
Let's say she's from Takobo, because that's prettier. And we know there were Imperials there.
So, probably fair to say that prior to the Republic becoming the Empire, her family had been well-respected diplomats / politicians, and then they probably had to flee Coruscant and go back to Takobo.
I almost wonder if they have a sort of an Organa type story where they're like, oh, this sucks, but we're going to pretend it doesn't so we can keep helping people on the DL.
I mean, that's what it really seems like. I mean, because like a lot of her, both of her main abilities are like about sort of like tricking and confusing the enemy and stuff like that.
And I think I know in her skirmish card you can she can tell stormtroopers to do stuff or weak lower level enemies. So maybe she's actually got some kind of role in the Imperial bureaucracy somehow. Even if it's more of we'll let these people stay around as symbolic. Obviously, at some point she moved to Cloud City. Maybe Lando invited her. And it's hey, I like those eyeballs on your head. Like those long, spindly fingers. So we should also assume that she's it's not her profession or anything, but as a hobby, she likes to sing.
Mm.
None of the neighbors like hearing her sing. Nobody else can appreciate it because there's not very many Ithorians around. But, after a hard day at work and a hard day of doing legitimate work and helping the rebellion and writing up propaganda and feeding information to her spy network, she goes home. She takes off the translator device that sits on her neck because, people can't be expected to learn her language, apparently. She goes home and she just belts out her favorite Ithorian show tunes as loud as she can.
It just sounds like a truck Jake breaking through small town Minnesota.
It also helps make sure that any Imperial ISB agents who might have her apartment bugged don't they ignore her feed most of the time because they're afraid that they're going to hear her singing when they turn it on.
That seems likely. Man, how did she become more interesting than Hawk Batman?
I think she's a cool... I mean, that's kind of the whole point of these episodes, is that just the artwork for these characters is so dang cool. I really like her miniature. It was fun to paint. Her miniature is a little bit different from the artwork on her card because she, instead of holding a book, she's holding a blaster.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah. Davith's model is basically his art.
Yeah. Davith is so fun. And Skirmish, he has an ability where if he just exits a space containing an enemy figure, it takes a damage. So you can just sprint through guys and cut them on your way through. It's very ninja-y.
Wow. That's not bad.
It's very anime where you rush through them and they're I'm fine. And then all of a sudden they go, and they fall over. As he's standing on the other end of the room and he looks back.
And there's a spray of blood as they slice in half from his dagger.
Yeah. Is that another volume of Tales from Imperial Assault? Do we need more for them?
I feel like we usually manage to weave the villain story into the hero stories. Not every time,
True.
But we try to. Maybe not. Maybe this time it's just a stuck-up guy and a ninja and a badass politician.
I feel... Okay, so it's I think we could sort of weave this in that, Agent Blaze is obviously on Cloud City trying to track down any rebels he can find amongst the populace and whatever. But I feel it would be one of those things where so he probably considers Bern to be some kind of a friend or ally, but she's really just there always constantly misdirecting him and turning him away.
Here's one for you. Here's some good old tragedy sadzers for your backstory.
Oh no.
Okay, Mern's parents, they're doing rebel activity, much like the Organas. However, the ISB is close to catching them, and they know it. They know that tonight they're going to catch us and they're going to execute us, maybe on the spot, maybe after lengthy interrogation. There's nothing we can do about it. That's very clear to them. Mern knows this too, because she's, helping. And they take her in and they tell her, you have to go turn us in to this ISB agent, Blaze, who's on this planet. Because if you don't, they're gonna, you're gonna get executed with us. So that's the only way that we're for sure dead. You get out of this alive if you go turn us in to the local ISB guy. And so that's what she has to do. And she puts on a brave face and she goes, hey, my parents are rebels. You got to do something about it. And that's how she stayed out of the Imperial hair and became endeared to this ISB guy and had a sad backstory that'll make the readers cry when they read this episode or this volume of Tales.
That's pretty good.
And then when they see each other on Cloud City, he's like, "Huh? Remember your parents?
Remember the good times
pretty
we had?
Huh? Remember when I signed off on the order to kill him?"
So it was like a twisted version of Lieutenant Gordon and Little Bruce Wayne. Instead of like, we'll find the guy that killed your parents, it's gonna be like, here, come here, we're gonna kill your parents.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that could work.
Leo looks
maybe
like he's got questions.
Maybe she worked on Bespin and then he showed up and she's like, oh, who's this new guy I can work to manipulate? And then she sees his face and she's like, what the... She's like, no. And now she's like, that's why eventually she tipped from working behind the scenes to running around with a gun with the rebels, because she, was kind of done having a more passive role.
She goes into his office and it turns out he's got like her parents' heads in a jar, like in The Mask of Zorro. when the guy has Antonio Banderas' brother's head in a jar.
Yep. I forgot about that part.
Capitan Love.
There's at least some sort of trophy from her like rich family home that he's carried around with him. So whenever she has to go talk to him, she sees it and like can't act on it.
That's pretty good.
There we go. That's a much better story than what we had before.
But old boy is still just, I'm a ninja.
Yeah, I don't think he has any ties to Blaze, but he definitely has reason to dislike the Empire.
Don't die on the air. Don't die on the air.
I think he's choking on an olive.
Cherry. Get your wife in there to give you the Heimlich maneuver. Heimlich! Heimlich!
Ugh. I just had the Fifth Element flash in front of my eyes.
That was a good episode of Tales.
I was afraid that was going to turn into Act 3 of The Godfather.
Never saw it.
Neither have I. That's one of those movies that I don't mention that I haven't seen, because it's one of the movies that when you mention you haven't seen it, everyone,
Evan, and then people look at you like Evan's looking at us right now. Yeah, it's one of those movies where it's like...
But it's like too late now.
It is.
It's too late.
It is, honestly.
Mm-hmm. The moment's passed.
30 years. Yeah. But yes, very, very good stories from Bespin. It's, what is it? Tales of Bespin, thrown...
The Bespin Gambit.
The Bespin Gambit.
Yeah, Bosk shows up too.
Yeah, he's on the tin.
Yeah, he's on the cover art. Lurking.
So maybe he's been brought in by, old Blaze.
I don't remember how he's looped it in the story.
He was just clinging to the back of Slave 1 the whole time.
I feel like Bespin Gambit might be one I never played. I think when it came out, a lot of the word on the street was it's not as good as some of the other ones, story-wise. I think that I might have ended up skipping over that one. There's still 3 boxes of that I haven't played campaign-wise.
Well, after this one, we've got, Jabba. And
Lothal.
Well,
Lothal is the last one. It's Jabba, then it's Heart of the Empire, which is like a Coruscant one.
Oh, that's right.
And then the Lothal one. And then maybe whatever boxes they release in the future. Because Imperial Assault, while dead, we saw the dirt over the grave rustling and wonder, maybe we buried it too soon.
It was like the end of Batman v Superman.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to irritate Leo further. That was solely for the benefit of... No? Alright. That's fine.
No, let's not talk about any Zack Snyder movies.
Watchmen.
That's pretty good.
Watchmen has a special place in my heart.
300.
Watchmen came out on my 18th birthday. 300 came out on my 16th birthday.
Leo came to visit when 300 came out.
Did I?
Yeah. And Mandy was very sick while we were watching it.
Cool.
Yes, indeed. So yes, that's another Tales from Imperial Assault. I always enjoy these. I'm looking forward to the next one. And I'm just going to be sad when we run out of expansions to talk about.
Someone, when this episode comes out, make sure you tweet the episode at Steve Horvath, so he knows we need.
Is that how every episode is going to end now? Imploring people to reach out to Steve Horvath.
Yeah, don't forget to bug Steve Horvath about when we're getting more Imperial Assault. No, don't actually do that.
Well, you could, but just don't
don't tell him we told you to do it.
just say, have you heard of this show? It's terrific. You really should. That's all you gotta say.
You can say that to anybody in your life, though.
That's true. You should really be telling all your friends about us.
And
like Michael Keaton.
Random people on the internet you don't know.
Yeah.
Like who?
Michael Keaton. In Batman, 1989. I want you to tell your friends about me.
Oh. See, here's some more. I've only seen the Christian Bale Batman. Batman?
You're not alone. I've tried to get my wife to watch Batman 89 a couple times and haven't had any success. And I'm always like, come on, the whole soundtrack is Prince. You love Prince. Sit down and watch this damn movie with me.
All right.
Yeah, just go, that's the, here we go. We're going to make it into a hashtag challenge to tell your friends challenge. Go on the internet and tell 10 people to say how great the JodoCast is, and then those people tell 10 people.
I think it.
And for every person we tell, we'll donate 1 cent to the JodoCast.
not like to a charity helping people like get masks that they need. We could get masks. We could get Jodo cast masks. Right?
We
right,
could
right,
buy
Leo?
the.
Right?
How about this? Let's get the Black Series Boba Fett helmets that are in stores now, because they're wearable, big Boba Fett replica helmets. We're gonna have to come up with some sort of seal around the bottom, made out of double-layered fabric or medical masks.
No, you put the helmet on, and then you spray some of that expanding foam all around your neck.
That works too.
And then you never take it off ever again.
This is the way. But
there you go.
I was gonna say the other step is we need to repaint the helmets, just at least the red, paint it to yellowy, orangey. So that'll be your JodoCast branded safety features.
Hi Bob. I like seeing Bob just like his paw like.
That was another great episode, and thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Leo. I'm just going in clockwise order as far as it's... Am I going the wrong way, Leo? Do I need to go this way to say thank you?
For my screen, you need to go... Because then it looks like you're going clockwise. So when you right now, that's counterclockwise on my screen. Sorry.
All right. Anyways, thank you to both of you. Thank you to patrons for being here to listen to our ramblings about another fantastic game from Fantasy Flight Games. Thank you to all the patrons for all that you do for helping us to keep on going in this day and age. And thank you just to all of the listeners for putting us in your ears by your own choice.
I love getting consent to go into people's ears.
Do we need to put that at the beginning of every episode? Like a little button that pops up on iTunes? Like, do you give consent to have these men in your ears? Like, yes. Okay. All right. Have a good night, everybody. We'll
that can
talk
be a
to you
shirt
later. Goodbye.
Okay.